Hi everyone, it's Sue Plumb here to share another scrapbook process video with you. Today's layout that I am sharing was created for the Cocoa Vanilla Studio design team, and I am working with the beautiful These Days collection. I chose to work with this collection because I have quite a bit of this one left in my stash, and I felt like I hadn't really given it the attention it deserved yet, so I pulled it out and thought I might have a little play with it. Now, disclaimer, when you are watching this video, you may not realize it at first, but I actually didn't create this video at home. So I'm going to apologize because the lighting is not quite what it usually is. You might notice the color sort of varying a little bit, going in and out. Things were a little bit more difficult for me because I didn't have my supplies exactly where they were. I was actually at my sister's house for a couple of days and I set myself up in her study as best I could because I knew I was going to be scrapping and I really wanted to record my process anyway. So getting on with what I am doing. So I had this photo of my boys that I took the day that they were heading off to their very first school disco. Now, other than that, there's no fantastic story behind it. I just really love this photo of the two of them because it shows, you know, even though despite the fact that they're twins, you know, how different they both look. They both have their own individual sense of style. As you can see, one likes to be a little bit more dressed up than the other one's a little bit more casual. I really like the colors that were in this photo and I thought it would work really well with this collection. So I chose, because obviously it was a photo of my boys and the colors in the photos, I really wanted to work with like the blues and greens that are present in this collection. I also wanted to combine that with the wood grain because I find those wood grain papers just work really, really well as backgrounds. They just give you that nice sort of neutral jumping off point and they work really well for masculine layouts as well. So what I wanted to do was add a little bit of depth to my page, to the background, before I went ahead with those paper layers. So I just used some white acrylic paint, which I applied with my brayer. And you can see that I've sort of run it across that sort of top portion of the page and then down the right hand side. I already had in my mind that I sort of wanted to work in that sort of area as my focal area of my page. It gave me a good anchor on my page, you know, it gave me a guide as to where I was going to place my photo and how I could place my embellishments. So that's why I chose to set the paint out like that. Over the top of the paint, I've also done some stamping. So I've used a brick pattern stamp there, which is just a rubber stamp that I have from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. I really love this pattern. It's a really good background pattern for masculine pages or anything that you want to sort of make a bit edgy. It also works really well with the fact that they were standing in front of a chain link fence. So I thought, yep, all of that will tie together really well. So using the brayer, as I said, to apply the paint, it's a great way to apply paint because it applies it really thinly. It takes very little drying to get it to dry. It causes minimal warping on your page. And then you can just quickly move on to the next step, which if you know anything about me, I am not a very patient scrapper. I am not a very perfect scrapper. I just like to get it done and follow my instinct. And as I say, whatever will be, will be. So I moved on from the mixed media component of the background. You can see I'm working with the papers there. I was actually using some of the papers from the A4 paper stack. So I had that sort of black and white spot. I've got that greenish coloured one that had the little leafy print on it. And then I've got that blue one there that I've used as a mat for the photo that's got some tiny hearts printed all over it. It's really super sweet. I really loved this blue paper with the little hearts on it, and I do believe that this colorway was only available in the A5 paper stack in this collection, that the larger version of it is actually sort of a pinky peachy color that's in the 12 by 12s. So as always, I have added some scrap cardboard to the back of my photo, which just helps to pop it up bit from the background, gives a bit of separation to those layers, and always helps your photo come to the forefront of your page. I have also added some frayed gauze for soft texture, which is another of my signature things that I like to do. I just love the little bits of threads poking out from behind the photo. And now I'm going in with, this is actually like a border strip that comes from the cut apart paper, which is just like that chalkboard print, and it's got the hearts on it. And I just chopped it into multiple pieces. And you can see that last little piece I was going, initially my instinct was to carry that line of the hearts through behind their eye line. And I thought, no, I always do that. I'll put it somewhere else. But you would have watched from that painful process then that I tried multiple places to put that third piece, and ended up right back where my instinct told me to put it in the first place. Which just goes to show you, if you have an instinct, if you have a particular thing that you usually do and it works for you, don't try and change it. There's a reason it works. Just leave it alone. Go with what your head is telling you to do in the first place, and you'll save yourself a lot of wasted time. Anyway, here I am going in. I'm starting to use the embellishments now. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is I've actually got a grey paper doily in my layers there as well, which I've just tucked up under the top corner of my photo. So these embellishments that I'm working with, as you can see, come from the die cut ephemera pack. So I chose that little doodled frame. Now, I'm not one to usually use frames like they are supposed to be used, i.e. by framing a photo inside them. I tend to chop them up and use them in layers, and I just like to use them a bit more sort of eclectically. So I actually cut that frame in half, and I just tucked in half on that right-hand side there. Because given the way I had the paint going on the page, it was going to be more weighted to that right-hand side where the paint goes down the page. So I opted just to place half the frame in under the photo on the right there, just to continue that on. Now, I've also tucked in that little die cut that's got the stack of books, and I really apologise for the light here, but it's not my normal light, and there wasn't a lot I could do about it. So it was either work with bad light or don't do a process video. So I'm hoping you will forgive the light and just be happy that I did the process video. I've got that, yes, as I said, I've got that die cut stack of books there, which I thought tied in really well, given that this was a school disco. I've also popped that adorable little banner there that's got the little flags on it. I do love working with those. I'm always really happy when I see those in an ephemera pack. I do like to place them. It just gives me an excuse to sort of put some sort of like diagonal element on the page, and just to break up straight lines and so on and so forth. I've also tucked in a little butterfly at the top there, because if you know me well, you know how much I love butterflies, and I never really need an excuse for a butterfly, actually. A butterfly can go on anything as far as I'm concerned. So I am also working with the accessory sticker sheet, and I also on my desk there have the clear sticker sheet, which you'll see I go to later. Now, you can see where I'm sticking these embellishments that, you know, I wanted to embellish around my photo, but then I wanted a few sort of odd ones just sort of like cascading down the page and just trailing off, just the way that the paint had. I was sort of guided by the paint there. The fact that the paint was thicker and heavier up near the photo, but then it sort of faded down towards the bottom of the page, and I thought I would like to do the same thing with my embellishments and just sort of fade them down towards the bottom of the page as well. I've used those little Crossmark stickers from the clear sticker sheet. So I've used a couple, you can see there near the bottom, and also one up near the top. I like using these because it saves me actually drawing them by hand, but if I do run out of them, I am not adverse to stamping little marks like that on or drawing them with my hand. Now, that little wood epoxy button that I've stuck on there, what I actually did with that, I didn't want it to sit up so high off the page. So what I actually did was remove the foam adhesive that's on the back of it, which actually pops it up a little bit. And I've just used my Helmer 450, which is a nice, strong liquid adhesive. And I just put a dab of that on the back of it to hold it down on the page. Now I'm going in with some phrase stickers from the accessory sticker sheet. You'll see that I actually end up using 3 of those. I do use a lot of my elements in 3s. I can't help it. Again, that's one of those instinctive things that I really can't fight when I scrap. So you'll see that I actually end up with 3 phrase stickers on there. And despite the fact that I haven't done it already, you will see that I also end up with a little banner piece across the bottom of my photo. One of the things I do love to do when I add photos to a layout is to embellish directly on the photo. I don't know why. I just love to do it. Are you a person, tell me, are you a person who likes to embellish on your photos as well? Or do you like to keep your photo completely clear so it just stands out alone off the page? I'm very curious. I don't know why. I love sticking things on the photos themselves. Of course, in these digital days, we don't have to be worried about acid-free and ruining photos and all that sort of thing, because like with the availability of printing these days, you can just always print them again. So, okay, so I've got my T-square out now because I am adding my title. I didn't want a big title on this page. I didn't want it to sort of overwhelm a lot of the little delicate elements that I already had going there. So these puffy alphas from this collection were perfect. It allowed me just to sort of stick my title in the corner there. Just kept it sort of unobtrusive and it just blended in quite well, but you can still read it. So that's the main thing. Oh, I'm trimming up my gauze because I didn't like the way it was sitting. What else am I doing? Oh, puffy stickers. I tell you, this collection has the most adorable set of puffy stickers. I didn't add a lot because at this point I was looking at my page thinking it already had enough embellishments on it. So a lot of puffy stickers didn't make their way on there. I'm actually adding some little phrases that I'm stamping on. I stamped on the date. And then I was looking at it and it needed something else dark. My eye kept being drawn to my son's black pants there, and I thought it just needed something else a little bit heavy just to help tie in the black from his pants. So you'll see that I actually go in with another rubber stamp there, also from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. It's just got some doodle dots on it, and I actually go in with some black stays on ink as opposed to the grey that I used earlier for the bricks. And I just finished off by putting some black stamping on it. And that was about it for this layout. You can see I added handwritten journaling under my photo as well. Very simple. There wasn't a lot to say. If you have any questions about this layout, don't forget to pop them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.